Hey guys, so the market's been pretty bloody the past couple of weeks, and I want to talk about some reasons why, specifically today and yesterday, why we've been seeing such a big decline, as well as some stories that not a lot of people are talking about. So, with that, let's go ahead and get started. So, the first story obviously is about China and them cutting down on their Bitcoin miners. So, basically, there is a thing by the Chinese government by Sichuan for a shutdown on Bitcoin miners by June 20th. And as you know, the biggest are Antpool, BTC.com, Poolin. They're all some of the biggest Bitcoin mining pools, and they've now plunged 10 to 22% in real-time hash rate since June 28th. Now you can see here the decline. I'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see it. So you can see that percentage, how big of a percentage change over the past 24 hours, then over 3 days. I mean, so negative 19%, negative 10%, 15%, 16. I mean, these are huge numbers. And again, you got to think about for these people who have been the majority of Bitcoin mining's hash rate's power, it shows you, how big of effect this can have. But in my opinion, I think that long term, this will be good because China has had its monopoly in the sense of they've controlled most of the mining on Bitcoin. They've kind of had the plug on Bitcoin's health. And for them now to not really have a big enough statement for the mining farms in there and can, basically distribute more to different people, I think that will be good in the long term. And also, there's some people that have been saying that this is bearish. And of course, it is bearish in the short term because you don't have as many people minting Bitcoin, right? Because usually the miners from Glassnode and CryptoQuant, they're actually holding the Bitcoin they're mining. So it was very bullish because it was actually, you were increasing the supply, but decreasing it in a sense of they held the Bitcoin and then it would increase the demand and there's being a cycle and it would help out. Now, I will say with these guys not mining anymore, that is actually going to decrease the difficulty. So the difficulty is going to take a huge adjustment in the next couple of weeks. Every 2 weeks, it takes a adjustment based off of how much Bitcoin is mined. And basically, with all of these people not mining anymore, then I think the difficulty adjustment is going to really take a, cut in, I don't want to say cut in half, but it is going to have a huge effect. And therefore, we're kind of going to see, the rewards start spreading out to different people now versus just, having very, very small rewards. And then again, a majority of people getting those rewards. So that is a positive. But again, this just in the short term is very bearish for Bitcoin. So really I see, a couple weeks to a couple months of kind of us adjusting to this change. And then we'll see if that basically the market adjusts, difficulty adjusts, and then we can continue on with our uptrend. Now, a story I really want to talk about is Michael Burry. So those who know Michael Burry, he was the guy in The Big Short that actually called the drop in the 2008 housing crisis. And that crisis in the United States, I'm sure everyone's heard about. It was the biggest crisis since the Great Depression. And this guy called it in 2005. If y'all haven't seen The Big Short, it's a great movie. Definitely recommend it. But basically what Michael Burry is saying, he says, quote, he issued a series of tweets on Thursday warning individual investors about losses the size of countries in the event of crypto and meme stock declines. So he said, all the hype speculation is doing is drawing in retail before the mother of all crashes. Burry wrote on Twitter before his posts were deleted. So this guy's Twitter account, he deletes a lot of his posts, and I think he does it kind of again to continue to be anonymous, but in the sense of he doesn't want the attention. He just wants to get the idea out there, and then whoever is lucky enough to see that info, basically then he takes it back because he doesn't want to be chastised like he was in 2005, 6, and 7. But right now, he is talking about crypto being in a bubble. And again, it does make a lot of sense seeing how much we've increased over these past 10 years for Bitcoin, 12 years. And it's, a little uneasy. Again, he mentioned this Thursday. So again, June 18th. But still, nonetheless, he is definitely a name that you need to pay attention to because he was one of the only people that was causing the housing crisis. Now, whether he's 2 to 3 years early like he was in 2005 or whether we're just around the corner and crypto all crashes down, it's hard to say. But this goes without saying, definitely always diversify your assets, getting basically into stable coins and making sure that you are safe because you never want to be all into one crypto. You want to diversify, and of course always have some stables on the side in case you want to buy the dip or again to just realize those profits. That is a big thing as well. And Michael Burry also called GameStop before it had its meteoric rise. So he's called a lot of stocks, and right now he's actually short Tesla. He's short 800,000 shares of Tesla since March 31st. So again, that is something to keep in mind. But yeah, again, love him or hate him, he does have insight and a unique perspective on things. So definitely something I am keeping a close eye on. And the next is the Death Cross. So of course, Death Cross, a lot of people have been talking about. All that the Death Cross is the simple moving average, 200-day simple moving average, 50-day moving average, sorry, crossing below the 200-day simple moving average. So you can see right now on the daily chart for Bitcoin that 50-day is now crossed below that 200-day. Now, for it to be a true death cross, you want the 200-day at least moving up, and then the 50-day, of course, moving down. Okay, you don't want it to be like the 200-day moving down and then the 50 days moving down further like that. You don't want this. You want this to be a true death cross right here. So definitely something to watch out for there. And look, we can see that this 200 days curving up and then the 50 days curving down. So more violent move you saw when it crossed, and we dropped from 35.5 all the way down to 31,500. Now Ethereum right now, it hasn't crossed yet, and you can see it's starting to curve down. Now, where are we at with Ethereum as opposed to Bitcoin? Well, you know, if we look at that, then approximately right here when it's curving down. So you could say, okay, possibly we could have some sideways movement in Ethereum for a little bit and then possibly continue downward or even, you know, bounce up again. But basically, if we do apples to apples here, then we will say we're probably right here at this drop. We could bounce, which would make a strong argument for bouncing off of the 50-day moving average on the daily. So, sorry, 200-day simple moving average on the daily, which has acted as good support. You can see it cross line below it, and then it crossed back above, and then it acted as support down here. So yeah, so it's definitely a moving average to keep in mind, both of these. So that's been something that's been on people's radar as well. So with that, let's go ahead and look at these specific technicals. So for Ethereum, okay, I mentioned here for Ethereum, we were in this channel, and I said if we break out of it, super bullish. If we break down, super bearish, and we have broken down, unfortunately. Now the support level, looks like we have just about reached it at the support level at 1850, and you can see right now we broke this trend line, which was holding support at least 4 times. So we need to break back above this trend line if we do want to have any chance of regaining some bullish momentum. Unfortunately, now it's resistance. So if we do have retest it at about $2,000 and then fall back down, I could definitely see us falling below to this next level here at $1,700, and then possibly even further down to this 1450. But this 1700 is very important because you can see that's where we wicked down on May 23rd. So if it holds this, again, I'll maintain my bearish or my bullish bias, but if it does break down below that, you know, I think I may basically change my stance on that. So definitely have to keep an eye on that. Our indicators right now, RSI again is close to getting oversold. The MFI Pro is giving us a buy signal right now. Hopefully once this closes, it'll confirm, but the VP extractor is still in the middle. So again, we want to wait till this confirms a buy as well before we even think about buying. So it could still have some room to go, like I said, at least until 1700. So we'll have to see if it can break that. And then for Bitcoin's technical analysis, so I drew this red trend line here. This was important. This was resistance. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And you can see that 4th time, it just tanked. And from there, you can see this support on this trend line is a very weak support, only had 2 touches. And you can see it broke right below that. And it broke through its horizontal support here now, which acts as resistance at 32,800. So really, we're actually scrolling back here. We got to draw some new support lines. So big support line here, again, is going to be that 31,250 here. And then finally, we're going to have that 29,000 level. So these are going to be important levels. Again, if you are thinking of DCAing into Bitcoin, again, possibly placing little buy orders here and some buy orders here. And then, you know, seeing if we can reach those. If not, then looking to break this 32.8. And then also this is going to be a huge resistance here at this 34,300 level. So hopefully we can break that and then continue on for Bitcoin. But the indicators right now, the VP extractor is looking kind of weird with Bitcoin recently. I mean, you have the price going way up here and the volume going, you know, way down here. They're separated versus usually they're together. So that's something I haven't seen a lot on the VP extractor. So definitely something to be cognizant of. A lot of manipulation going on. And then the RSI is oversold, as well as the MFI Pro is oversold. But you know what I'm doing? I'm waiting for the VP extractor to be oversold as well before I think of buying anything right here. So again, always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please give it a like. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, thanks for watching.